Good morning, guys. I apologize if I seem a little off and a little under the weather. I had a major asthma attack. I can't say major, because a major one would put me in the hospital. So I didn't have to go to the hospital, but I had an asthma attack this last weekend, which is why you didn't see me do live post-fight content on Edgar the Cannibal Berlanga, the Puerto Rican cannibal, um, versus Alexis Angulo, or you didn't see me do the Daniel Dubois versus Trevor Bryan fight, or the Jaime Munguia versus Jimmy Kelly. I did the videos this past Monday, but I was sick. I'm sorry. So we're here now, fight week. And shout out to my colleague Donnell, who's going to be at the fight this weekend. And what we're going to do in the next 15, 20 minutes or so, we're going to take a deep dive into the 175-pound division. In this case, the topic is going to be, what are they calling it? In deep water. Beterbiev versus Joe Smith Jr. Artur Beterbiev, the WBC and IBF 175-pound champion. I was at his fight in Philly when he fought Volzig at Volzig. Actually got a chance to spend a lot of time with him that I actually didn't think I was going to be able to. Like he was here, like in Philly, Artur Beterbiev, and I covered that fight as media. Um, of course, he won. He's 17-0 with 17 KOs. Like, dude is a beast, a monster. He had some little lulls in 2016, 2017, 2018. Actually, let me go look real quick before we go really jump into things. Take your time out, like the video, subscribe, and TstreeT Controversy with Fight View 360. Yeah, this is what I mean. He's 37 years old. Now, in today's modern medicine and technology and in boxing, that's not old to me. That's you in your prime. You see what I'm saying? You're on like the kind of, the tail endish of your prime. Old in boxing to me is when you're like 42. That's my personal opinion. And then you got guys like, fucking Aries Lady Lara, who've been around since Knockout Kings on PS1. And you got Paul Luis Ortiz out here still fighting at 52. God knows what he listed in. What is he supposed to be, 44? In American Cubano years. Anyway, don't get me started. But anyway, I like Beterbiev. He should have been a little bit more active, and I'm not really too much of a fan of how his promoter, Yvonne Michelle of Michelle Promotions up in Canada. Because at one point he was pretty much controlling the 175-pound division, and he wasn't letting those guys fight each other, and he wasn't letting them fight Kovalev. Like, it was some shit going on there. I don't really remember the story, but I covered it, and I was really frustrated with him. Well, anyway, you got Beterbiev here is going to be taking on WBO champion Joe the Common Man Smith Jr. And let me tell you something. He's got a shot. That power, we've seen Beterbiev be dropped and stunned before. That power is not a myth. I'm not a myth. 32 years old, very, very common man. Steve Geffield, Maxim Vaslov, Eleider Alvarez. In my opinion, let's be honest, Eleider Alvarez was kind of damaged goods. Jesse Hart, I was really upset at that fight. I was there ringside, and Jesse Hart was getting his ass whipped. I covered that fight too. It was sad, man. Dmitry Bivol, now remember, he had Dmitry Bivol questioning everything when he hit him with that big punch. What round was that when he buzzed him? And Bivol was walking back to his corner like lost, like what the hell just happened to me? He lost to Sullivan Barrera, in which he got his jaw broken, and I'm thinking like to myself, that's a fight that, he would clearly win today. And, maybe if his jaw wasn't broken, he would have won then. As you can see, he knocked Barrera down in round number 1. And then this fight right here. One of the saddest fights in boxing history. It broke my heart. I almost cried. To see Bernard Hopkins, get knocked out of the ring and his boots was like up in the air, and didn't give the common man no props. I was done. And I was at Bernard Hopkins' media day workout, and I'm watching him tippy-toeing around the ring. Like, I was at his media day workout. He had one in Philly, where, he tell these long-ass stories and shit, and, he start trying to confuse you. You'll ask him, like, so, like, what's the thought process? That's my shit. Like, what's your thought process behind picking Joe Smith Jr.? And he'd be like, the thought process? Well, you see, the mind of the boxer is not who they used to be yesterday, but today. And then when you go back and you watch the tape, you wonder to yourself, how did we get here in America? You be listening like, and then people be around you like, yeah, it be hot. And if you go back and look, A Lipton iced tea, I don't drink it, but a Lipton iced tea used to be $1.50, but now it's $2. But then you got the great legends like Sugar Ray Robinson. No bullshit. And even like, yo, and it's not until you get home and you start editing that shit and you're like, wait a minute, what the fuck was he talking about? Because you'll be sitting there listening and be like, damn, like he's a master of words. You be sitting there thinking like, damn, he really like telling some real shit. Then you home clicking and editing and you like, what the hell did he just say? When you're trying to figure out what the title of the video. Well, anyway, moving on. Let me play this little promo. This Top Rank been claiming my videos like candy. I've been getting all these Top Rank, but it's cool. It's cool, you know, part of the business. At least they let me do like use the shit, you know, for you, the people, you know. But yeah, anyway, let me play this little clip. Take your time out, like the video, subscribe. It's going to be on ESPN this weekend, June the 18th, Juneteenth in New York. They've actually had 2 straight weekends of fights in New York on ESPN. Is it in the big room?
This guy's going to take on a wrecking ball mentality and do his thing. Artur Beterbiev is the unified champion of the world.
Joe Smith Jr., he is a world champion.
There's a right lead, and then he sends him through the ropes.
Heck of a fight. Outstanding world title fight.
Okay, nope, it's in the theater, but it's going to definitely pack that joint out. June 18th, 10 p.m. Eastern. You know, do any of these guys going to have their fathers with them? Mark Krieger going to sit down with one of the fathers? I did get a chance to watch Blood, Sweat, and Tears, episode 1 and 2. By the way, before I move on, I want you guys to go check out my, here, let me pull it up real quick for you. My Facebook group that I just launched. And shout out to Mikey, my colleague. So you would have thought that I would have had a Facebook group like years and years ago, you know, but I just opened it up yesterday at about what, not even 24 hours ago. And basically I'm going to be, soon my videos and streams are going to be here. And yeah, also my podcast is on the way. Like we're getting there, bro. What else? Make sure you take your time out, follow me on Twitter. But what I want to do is this. Let's go look at the undercard. Let's see, where we at? Where we at? Where we at? All right, let's see what we got here. See what we got here. See what we got here. We have, ooh, see that? I forgot about that. Robeisy Ramirez versus Abraham Nova. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Oh, I am in the house. I am going to be in the house. Oh, this is lovely. You know, some solid prospects on this joint too. Oh yeah, just them 2 fights right there. That's it. That's it. I'm sold. So let's talk about Joe Smith versus Artur Beterbiev. So remember, the winner of this is going to have 3 belts: WBC, IBF, and the WBO. The WBA, excuse me, is owned currently by Dimitri B. Goddamn toe fungus. Apologies, I've been being harassed by toe fungus ads, and some may say it's my cookies. But I don't have toe fungus. I would show you guys, but that's inappropriate. I don't have toe fungus. And I never looked up toe fungus. So I don't understand like why every time I go to BoxRec, they keep showing toe fungus ads. For example, support our you know, I'm not, I mean, this kind of fucked up. Why they put this on Bivol page? That's fucked up. You know what? Let me just keep it boxing. Let me just keep it boxing. So anyway, you got Bivol, 20-0 with 11 KOs. He defeated Canelo Alvarez. Now me, let me tell you something. I have some regrets that I'm not a gambling man. I have some regrets that I'm not a gambling man because in my heart of hearts of heart, like I rarely get like that when I have like an opinion that somebody's going to beat someone. And just off the top of my head, I knew that Loma was going to beat Gary Russell from the bottom of my heart. I knew that Bivol was going to beat Canelo. I knew that Wilder was going to get his ass beat by Fury. And I knew that Usyk was going to beat up Anthony Joshua. Just a few like fights just from the bottom of my heart, you know, that I just knew. You know, I was like, you know what? Nope, I'm not trying to hear nothing. I know how this shit's going to go. But I really wish I would have became a gambling man that night because TstreeT has a lot of legal fees. Like, let me tell you something. You know, so I wish I, like, you know, and I want to get an Xbox. You know, I got my PS5, but I want an Xbox too. You know, so I wish I would have gambled. But the winner of Smith versus Beterbiev is supposed to be an agreement in place to fight Anthony Yarde. 22-2 with 21 KOs. I think that, put it this way, I like Anthony Yarde, I do. He can box, like he can fight, you know, but he's got to really, really be locked in. Not a fan of his trainer, you know, because we know he's got the jab. We know he can box. Second half of the fight is what I'd be concerned about with him. You see what I'm saying? So it's hard for me to say that he would lose to Joe Smith Jr. or Beterbiev. It's hard right now. Now, Beterbiev is the favorite of the three. Now, me, I'm going to say that my personal opinion is Bivol and Gilberto Ramirez beats Joe Smith, Artur Beterbiev, and Anthony Yarde. The king of the 175-pound division, in my opinion, is going to be the winner of Bivol and Gilberto Ramirez. Those are the two that are the most skilled. Now, Beterbiev, he hasn't, like, he's not fully just a pressure fighter, power puncher, if you see what I'm saying. But that's who he kind of is, because he hasn't really had to really show us that he can really, really, really box. You know, he's just going out there trying to get people out of there. And all he does is live, eat, sleep, breathe boxing. You know, he even said here in Philly that, you know, he's not into all the media stuff. Like, he just want to, you know, like, get the boxing and get home to his family and kids, you know, and get back to the gym. You know, that's his shit. And then, of course, Joe Smith, well, you know, he's a very common man. You know, just the most common man. But word on the curb is that Bivol and Gilberto Ramirez are supposed to fight later on this year. So perhaps the winner of Smith versus Beterbiev is going to fight Anthony Yarde sometime at the same time that Bivol and Gilberto Ramirez are going to fight. And then next year, those winners fight for undisputed sometime, you know, no later than this time next year. It should be earlier, April, you know, March or April of next year. You know, we can see undisputed between Beterbiev and Bivol. Are they going to be able to get their checks, you know, double Russian clash? Because if that's a fight that should take place in Russia, geez, that war is fucking everything up, right? But I predict it's going to be Anthony Yarde next for Smith and Bivol. I'm not, if I'm going to pick somebody, honestly, because they're not too far off of the same fighter as far as like fighting style, really. Like, who would you give the better overall boxing ability to? Me, Joe Smith, he's got some boxing ability, but Beterbiev is living the shit. I don't do gambling and odds and all that, but from the outside looking in, you know, just as a boxing fan, it seems as though Beterbiev should be the favorite. You dig what I'm saying? So I'm going to go with Beterbiev. You know, and I'm sorry because the common man has proved this wrong, but he hasn't like been in there with the level of competition in just those 17 fights that he's had, you know, than Beterbiev, Marcus Brown, Volzdik, Hot Rod, Callum Johnson. You know, and remember, he started off hot early in his career fighting guys like Tavoris Cloud and Gabriel Campillo. These was two very good, solid names at that time. You know, and then he had some slowdowns, you know. He had some slowdowns of competition, like, ugh. But, you know, as far as Canelo is concerned, well, he's got to take care of Golovkin in September. And, you know, I don't think he should step back foot at 175-pound, period. You know, but Eddie Hearn's keeping the door open and saying, well, he could fight, you know, Bivol in a rematch next May. You know, Bivol may want that. Yeah, he want the money. But I think we have a better chance of seeing Bivol, if he beats Gilberto Ramirez, you know, take on, you know, somebody. I mean, fight for undisputed at 175 pounds. And then maybe him and Canelo, if Canelo continues to win and beats Golovkin and whoever after that, you can have two undisputed champions possibly fighting at 168 and 175. And what if Canelo lives up, you know, and makes Bivol keep his word and say, all right, you want to come to 168? Come to 168 and we fight at 168, but it'll be for all of the belts between 168 and 175. It is very possible. It is very possible. You know, now that right there will be some, you know, some crazy shit. You know, two under like all that gold in the ring, Canelo and Bivol, September. of 2023 for undisputed at 168 and 175. That would be crazy. I'm TstreeT Controversy with Fight View 360. Take your time out, like the video, subscribe. We will be here this weekend covering this card, and my colleague is going to be on his way to New York soon to start covering the fight as well. Follow me on Twitter, and remember, my podcast is on the way, and I'm very, very excited about it. Like, this is a big project for me. I'll see you guys later. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe. Follow me on Twitter at TstreeT Controversy. And the links to my social media is a LinkedIn, not a LinkedIn. It's a Linktree link. It's a link that sends you to a page that has all of my social media accounts. That's right down below in the description box, and I'm going to be updating that as well. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe. See you guys later.